Joining me now is Nana Girl, Dr. Michelle Dickinson. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Now we're going to talk about elephants.
I love this.
And the fact that elephants squeal.
So, first of all, if I said, what sound does an elephant make, you will probably think this. Low rumble.
Bit of a trumpet.
And then a trumpet. Which is what we are brought up to think that elephants make the sound
Yes.
of. Now, elephants are interesting because actually they have a low rumble that is too low for our ears to hear. So a lot of the sounds that an elephant makes, we couldn't detect anyway. Why do they have a low rumble? Because they're giant. And so typically there's a correlation between the frequency of sound made by a mammal and its body mass. The bigger you are, the lower your voice. Happens in humans, right? You don't often meet a very tall gentleman with a very squeaky voice.
No, but I was thinking about blue whales, and I seem to think that the
Whales
sound...
are different.
Oh, okay.
So land mammals, whales are very different. Good observation. Whales have a very different vocal tract. And the reason being is that because sound travels differently through water than through air.
Ah, okay.
And so higher pitches travel further. So it makes sense for those underwater.
But in general, on land,
land.
animals that are larger have a lower vocal range.
Yeah, because they have a bigger vocal cord. And
Okay.
if you think of an instrument in an orchestra, the small ones like the piccolo go high-pitched and the big ones like the tuba go low-pitched. It's just physics. However, elephants are odd because elephants also squeak like a mouse. I'm just going to play this sound. Now they squeak up to 2300 hertz, which is ridiculous for the size of them, makes no sense. And so scientists for a long time, they've known that elephants squeak. They squeak when they're excited. They squeak when they're scared.
Okay, I'm potentially going to ask another dumb question. Is it just the babies who are smaller who are squeaking?
Great
or
question.
Is it the adults?
No, it's the
Okay.
adults that are squeaking. So these scientists went away and went, why and how do they squeak? Their vocal cords physically don't make sense. So what they did is they made this beautiful study where they looked at 56 captive elephants, they're Asian elephants, and they used this technology where you can see sound using color. Now, I always try and do studies that are open access, and this is an open access journal. It's called BMC Biology, and the title of the paper is A Novel Theory of Asian Elephant High-Frequency Squeak Production. The reason I'm telling you this is go look it up because it's got some beautiful videos showing you sound in color. And what they found is that elephants don't have a specially developed vocal cords, so some things like koalas and mini bats have a specially developed vocal cord that makes a sound that you're not expecting. They don't have that. They're not whistling. They're not pursing their lips and putting sound through a small channel. Instead, there's this acoustic camera found that they are able to force air from a small part of their oral cavity through tensed lips, which is a cross between whistling and blowing a raspberry. And if you are a brass player, you do this when you play your brass instrument. It's a lip buzzing that is not seen in any other mammal in the animal kingdom other than humans who play brass instruments and no elephants.
These elephants that they did the study on were all in captivity. Is it just something that, obviously all elephants do this?
So most elephants in the wild do this. And what was
Okay.
interesting, in this study, 37 of the elephants were not squeaky. And so they didn't know how to squeak. And they went back and looked at the history. And because these are captive elephants, they were separated from their mothers very young.
They've been taught how to
And they
squeak.
hadn't been taught how to squeak.
And they
So
weren't picking it up
They
from them.
weren't. No, it seems to be something that you pick up when you're young and you hang out with the older elephants and they teach you how to squeak. And so, yeah, these captive elephants did not know how to squeak because elephants are such social creatures that they had not been social because they were captive and they didn't know how to squeak.
Very quickly, can you remind me when do they use the squeak?
When they're scared.
Okay, so there we go. If you hear an elephant squeaking, they're scared. It might be time to back off. Oh, fascinating.
It's cute. It's a cute
Yeah,
little...
it's really cute. And I do suggest you go and have a look at the videos. You'll go down a rabbit hole.
Well, it's so
Yes.
cute though. Elephants for a Sunday.
Thank you so much, Dr. Michelle Dickinson, Nana Girl.